Hello and welcome to my channel, All of Jasmine. Today I'm going to share with you about 5 tips on what to do as a first-time wedding officiant. And it's not going to be your typical tips like, oh, pick your name and figure out what it is, how you want to dress or any of that. We all know that there's a lot that goes into any business. And when it comes to wedding officiants, there's no difference. The main things that I noticed when I was getting started was that a lot of people were more concerned on how to write a script or what to do for your LLC, or should you be a sole proprietor, and just trying to figure out different things when it comes into getting involved with the business, where to become ordained, if you could be a notary, and all of that is important. But there are so many things that comes with the business that we do not discuss that is very important as well. Now, let's get started. My first tip for being a first-time wedding officiant would be to learn your flow. Now, I say that's very important because there are different styles when it comes to whoever the officiant is. Some want to make the ceremony more exciting and fun, so they tell a lot of jokes, or they try to keep that humor going to keep the crowd engaged and laughing. There are some that prefer for their ceremony to be more relaxed. There are some that kind of just go off what the couple requests. Me personally, my flow is pretty much calm. I like to be calm during the ceremony. I know that that time is very important and it's full of love and it's very intimate. So I try to keep my voice at a comfortable tone. And if there is something that is a little bit more funny or humorous in their love story or what they're saying before the vows, then I just kind of change the elevation in my tone. But I do not make it a party. I feel like that is something that should be saved for the reception, but that is my personal preference as a wedding officiant. So I feel like that's something that is extremely important. When you are writing your script and you're looking at other scripts to kind of as a guide to figure out what it is that you want to say or what your writing style is, keep in mind the tone that you want to deliver when you are speaking to not just the couple, but an audience, because there are times where you're just going to be with an elopement group. So it's just you and the couple, maybe a photographer or a violinist or something like that. But there are also times where you're going to be talking to upwards of 200 to 300 people. And it's important to know how you want to present yourself, what's most comfortable for you, because that's what's going to give you the best ceremony. So with that, when you write your script, just make sure you take the time to read over it. And if you are looking at someone else's work, make sure you read it out loud to yourself and also to maybe a friend or a family member, because their input will help you to see where those hiccups are. If there are certain words in there that you just cannot pronounce or comes off the tongue kind of funny, you're able to see that then instead of when you're standing in front of all of these people at the ceremony. So tip number 1, learn your flow. Tip number 2 is going to be to be early. That probably should have been tip number 1, but we're just going to keep it rolling. Be early, not on time, early. So for example, if your ceremony starts at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, Saturday, doesn't matter. You should be there around 1. Especially if you're just getting started, because you have to learn the ropes. Now for me, I've been doing this for some time now. So 30 minutes is enough time for me to get in, meet the coordinator really quick if I haven't already had correspondence with them, talk to the couple if need be, mic up with the DJ, know where to stand, because I've become comfortable and I know the process. If you are just getting started, it is important to be super early, because depending on where the venue is, you don't know what parking is going to be like. You don't know how long your walk is going to be before you are actually at the venue. You need to know if the couple is running late, if the DJ is there, if there is one, where the coordinator is, where they expect you to stand, if you're walking down with the groom, if you're walking down before the groom, if you're just going to be in place. And you also need time to kind of go over that script one more time. So be early, not on time. Be early, people. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is going to be to wear comfortable shoes. Now, I know as a woman, we want to put on heels and we want to prance around because it's a wedding day and you want to look and feel good, especially because you are going to be in every video and picture that is captured by the photographer or family and friends for the special moment of the couple. But when you are walking down the aisle or you are standing up at the altar preparing yourself to give this script and your feet are barking, that is not fun. So my recommendation is, if you want to wear heels because you're wearing an elegant dress or because you have on pants that drag on the floor, fine. Wear sneakers until it is time to get up there, because your feet will hurt and you do not have the option to sit down while you are giving a ceremony, while you are presenting the ceremony or reading a script. So, comfortable shoes, people. Please, comfortable shoes. I had to learn the hard way. I wore heels in the beginning for probably about a year and a half straight, because all of the weddings I was booking almost until COVID hit were production weddings. And I felt like if I'm going to be a part of the videos, if I'm going to be a part of pictures, I want to look good and I want to feel good in the moment, because that's what's going to give them the best quality of pictures. And because pictures and videos last a lifetime, that's going to get posted all over the place. And I want to look good, and the couple I should reflect them in some way. But I had to learn the hard way that that was not the best thing for me to do. And when it came to the ceremony coming to an end and how I was feeling as the ceremony was wrapping up, it just wasn't working for me. So I either wear sneakers up until it's time for the ceremony to start and then change into my heels, or I wear a shoe that is just more comfortable in general. That way I know that while I'm standing up there, I'm not thinking about my feet while I'm trying to give them the best moment of their life. Maybe not the best moment, you have kids and things, but in that moment, it's the best moment to me. So I want to make sure I'm comfortable so that I don't look uncomfortable when they're looking at that moment later in life. Number 4, bring water. Bring water, bring water, bring water. Okay? Elopements do not always have anything. It is an elopement. It may be just you, the couple, a violinist, or a photographer. It may just be you and the couple and a friend or a family member. There is no bar. There is nothing there for you to get water. And if it's a production wedding, a lot of times your part is before the reception, so nothing is set up. There are times where the bar is there early and they have things set up so that immediately after the ceremony, they can have cocktail hour. But that doesn't mean they're going to have everything ready for you to get water if you need it. So my recommendation is to bring water, because you need to make sure your throat is not dry before you get up there talking to these people about their love. Okay? So we have to drink water. Also, standing up there for a long period of time, if the bride and groom is running late, if anything is going on and you become thirsty, or it's one of those hot summer months, being without water is just detrimental to your soul. So let's not do that. Bring water. And my final tip is to know the laws. So I say that because as an officiant, I've worked with other officiants, and I have learned that we don't all do things the same because we don't know how they should be done. And when it comes to a marriage license, it is extremely important to know what you are supposed to do with it. So knowing that you shouldn't fill it out prior to the couple filling it out, or they should not sign before you sign, or knowing how long you have before that marriage license needs to be turned into the court, where to deliver it exactly, if it's a different county, you need to know the laws when it comes to the marriage license. It is not up to the couple to know exactly what to do. It is up to you. So there will be times where the couple is going to ask you questions. And if you don't know the answer to something they're asking you, that's okay. That's the opportunity for you to research that, or give the court a call and figure out what it is that you need to do to make sure they're comfortable with you and you know the answer to this question, so that if it's presented later, you know that you're handling it the right way. So I also say that because I ran into another officiant that did not know how long they had to turn in a marriage license. And a couple reached out to them and they were like, it's been like 3 months and we're unable to get our official copy. And it's because the marriage license hadn't been turned in. So that has to be turned in immediately. I don't even care what the law says. If you can get it in same day or the next day, do that. If you're unable to get to the court, that's fine. That's why there's envelopes and stamps, okay? So we can go ahead and drop that off to the post office and get it in as soon as possible. So those are my tips when it comes to officiating as a first-time officiant. And if you've been officiating and those tips are helpful for you, then please use them. But I plan to provide more tips here and there that are outside of the usual tips that we receive, because when it comes to the business, there's so much out there that we don't know and we don't utilize and we don't share with one another. So I hope you are able to incorporate that on your officiant journey and have a blessed, wonderful, productive day.